Cece here with Adore Her Beauty, back with another video. We're doing a hirsutism wax video, and this is a client. You may have seen some clips of this session in my shorts on YouTube, but this is actually the full session from this side. I've already begun, and I am using a Polish abrogate wax. And so there was some comments that were made in regard to how I kind of perform this service on this client. So we are going to address that comment. We're going to talk about some of the things that were said and just kind of help to reiterate and educate when it comes to hirsutism waxing. So as you can see that I applied the strip from the lip down toward the neckline, because for the most part this is the direction that the hairs are growing. They are growing in a downward direction. But if you look at this strip, you can see that they have a slight curvature to the hairs. They have a hook to the hairs. They are curly and coily of texture because she is Afro-American or black or ethnic or a person of color, however you want to describe it. But look at that. They literally look like ocean waves. But also what you can see from this strip is that they are, for the most part, growing in the same direction. Although the direction is wayward as far as the way the hairs are made, the hairs are wayward, but they're wayward together, if that makes sense. They're wayward in the same direction. They're all pretty much flowing in the same direction until you get to closer to the neckline. That is when the hairs kind of grow in what I call a cross-hatch direction. So I'm going in now with the second strip, kind of covering that same area. Another part of the comment that was mentioned under the short, this video that I uploaded as a short, was that the strips were too big. Well, this client is not a new client. She has been coming well over a year, and her skin, I know her skin. Her hairs are trained, though she is not as consistent as I would like her to be. She used to come once every month. Now it's maybe once every 3 months. So I know what she can handle. I know what the hair can handle. And so that strip is just pretty much large. But for the most part, it was mostly covering some of the skin. It wasn't really getting those hairs because the hairs were gone from the first strip. The hairs were already removed. This is pretty much some stray hairs in that area. And again, just look at the strip. Look at how the hairs are laying. And also from the first strip and this one, you can see that the hairs are not broken off. They are being removed from the follicle. And if you're new, how you can tell that the hairs are being removed from the follicle, do you see the little clear waxy substance that is on the little hairs? And also the next strip, you'll be able to see a little black ball at the tip of the hair. Those are indications that the hair has been fully removed from the follicle and not broken off. So now she does have some little stubborn hairs to the left, and I was just kind of figuring out the way I wanted to approach. For the most part, the hairs are growing in from her lip down to her neck direction. But of course we know, and if you don't know, you're about to know now, that the hair grows in layers. So underneath those first two layers is this last layer, and the hairs are growing in an awkward direction. Now, a greater percentage of them are growing in one direction, but again, under those layers, it may be growing in a different direction. So I'm taking a different direction with the wax in order to get those little hairs. Now, I've kind of struggled with my lip, but hey, I don't really make lips anymore. Again, you see the white sheath, that little clear waxy substance? That is called the sheath, S-H-E-A-T-H. And look at her chin. It's barely any hairs there. So now I'm going over to the next section, which is at the tip of her chin down to the neck. And if you are a person, you're watching this video, if you have done this type of waxing, you know it's very complicated, especially when the hair is thick, dense, coarse, like a man's beard, which is actually the definition of hirsutism related hair, hormonal hair. It's going to be thick, it's going to be coarse, it's going to be dense, it's going to be strong. And so you need to apply a special technique and very durable waxes when you're trying to wax this type of hair. So for people that like to say you're doing it wrong, or you're not supposed to do it that way. You're breaking hairs, you're this, you're that, you're that. I always like to reply back and say, look, when you can go outside and grab a handful of grass or a handful of weeds or a handful of whatever, and you can pull it up from the root of the ground where it's been embedded since it was planted, and you can remove it fully from the ground with all the roots attached and not snap not one, then come talk to me. Then let's have that conversation. But until you can actually master and accomplish that, then don't say nothing about how I'm doing something or how I'm not doing it. And I'm, like I said in my comment, I'm not cocky. I'm not above learning. I'm not above being instructed or evolving or growing from somebody or learning from somebody. But I've been doing this quite a while, and honestly, nobody was really having the hirsutism conversation until I started it. And I'm saying it very most humbly. I'm saying it in a way that I'm glad we're now having the conversation. But the very estheticians, and I'm starting to rant now, I'm sorry, y'all. But the very estheticians that want to comment on how this is being done now are the same ones that didn't even want to be working with these type of clients. They were the same ones saying, oh, you need to go see a dermatologist. Oh, you need to go see your PCP. You need to go see an endocrinologist. They didn't want to touch this type of work because they didn't see it as work. They didn't see it as something worthy of their time and education. And so I saw a need. Here I am feeling the need. And now that it's gotten traction all over the world, now y'all want to come in and jump in and be a part of the conversation. But no, you can come in and be a part of the conversation, but come in, shut up, sit down and learn. Because even if you had 30, 35 years, 40 years, 50 years of education, you didn't want to work with this. You didn't want to learn about this. You didn't want to touch this. So we found some new ways and some new techniques and things to get this done effectively. And as you can see, I'm just starting to tweeze this client. So the wax was pretty much doing all the work. That and was up here in my brain because I figured it out by trial and error. But anyway, I'm sorry for the rant. It just went there. But ultimately, we got through this video, and I may just spin it back around and actually do some real education with this exact same video. Or also, I did do her lip wax, so I may come back and do a little talk about the lip hairs because those hairs are just as strong and just as dense as the chin. So sorry for the rant. But if you want to chime in, keep the conversation going, I'm more than happy to do that tonight. I've been out for a week, but I'm back. And so we're going to keep having this hirsutism talk. So if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy all my videos, be sure to subscribe. I'm trying to reach 100K for us. Yes, let's get there. We're going to see it.